Tim was definitely number 1. Andrew was number 2 in my book. And Joel was number 3. Nice job, guys. Now we just need... Oh, Mark! Alright, number 4. Oh, poor Joel. So, we're starting here with one of the... And Charlotte, number 5. Alright. Got the team back together. So, we're starting up at the front here with a few features, but otherwise, not a whole lot of craziness this morning. So, I will also be leaving, because in case you didn't know, Sunday evening is the saltwater live stream, so I won't really, unless there's something like really important, be touching on that as much anymore, because Amanda will be doing that. It also is super helpful because the lights aren't hardly on in the morning, and I can't really even see half the fish because some of them are still sleeping or the lights are still too dim. And then she's also going to know much better what is out there and what she's already showed you and where everybody is. So that is the spiel. And in case anybody didn't know, I am back from maternity leave and I have a new schedule. So in case anybody needs to know that, you can always talk to the staff if you need a reminder. But Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, noon to 4, Wednesday, 4 to 8, and Saturday, all day. So, I definitely need to show these guys because these are a hot commodity, and they sell out usually so fast. They're stinking adorable. These are truly one of the small, peaceful gouramis. These are cichlids. So they do get much richer color, a lot more orange, yellow, and red. We did a little sampling of some plants in this section just to kind of see, but Steve and I don't quite think it's panning out the way it was planned, so lots of platies in this tank. Haven't really had much for platies, but it's really nice to see them. Live bears I am a huge fan of just because they bring so much activity and just that really big pop of color typically, which can sometimes be conflicting when it comes to decorating the tank, but the biggest thing about them is they utilize the whole space and they just derp around the tank all the time. So live bears are really great for that. Also we have the balloon green terrors. So Charlotte, if you wanted another one, we've got some cute little guys here. Oh, I know. Oh, we have big news. Don't know if it's necessarily going to be permanent, but let's see if... I don't think the lights are on yet, so... No. Dang it. Okay. Well, maybe at the end I'll try. Okay. So, I need to correct myself. So, technically, this type of killie out in the wild only lives 1 year. In captivity, when they don't dry out, quite literally, and killing them off, in captivity they can live around 2 to 3. Whereas then the bigger ones that I thought lived around 3 are actually around 5-ish. So, in case anybody's interested that I have spoken to about these, they're definitely, even if they only lasted a year, they're honestly super cool, and a year is a really long time, and they're not like super expensive by any means, especially for the amount of color that you get, and they're not even in full color. So let's try to zoom in a little bit. So pink, orange, and blue. Very pretty. Doggies. Ooh, I did see something exciting. I don't know when it would be ready. It's a very oddball thing that would be coming out of quarantine. But it seems like they're doing alright. Yes, so we did get new Hillstream Loaches. An avocado puffer, a 33 long its whole life. Probably with how slow they grow. I mean, they do get particularly large. Most people would probably never see them get that big, but Charlotte is a perfect example of how big one can get. So this is the new flavor of Hillstream Loaches. Of course, their colorful side is facing the wrong direction. But these are the yellow-finned Hillstream. We're going to jump ahead and check out the parrots, because we do have a lot of larger parrots right now. And hello, Kevin. And the catfish I'll do after the parrots. And then I'll go back to resuming... Ugh! Silly me, I forgot to turn the lights on. Okay, I'll have you guys stare at the big guys up here while I quick work on some of the lights really fast behind me. Okay, so these are the parrots. I think this is all of the big ones at the moment. Yeah. So, middle of the cichlid wall, top row, they are all 50 apiece. Ah, yes, bandits. And then we have both of the cute little guys there. And then we've got these fun guys. I was gonna say blue masher. Blue messier. Massier. Depends on where the emphasis is, I suppose. And I forgot to say, these are actually the clouded archers. Ooh, the reflection. I love these plants. This particular pink plant is just so pretty. The clouded archers are a freshwater archer. So they actually can live in your normal aquarium, and they are one of my favorite Charlotte fish, you could say, because they mix so well. They're just such a great limbo fish. Look at the frog. He's really cute. Oh, the glare. Man, guys, it's so hard to film. So I really wanted to show you Julius's tank, because, well, you can kind of see he has new roommates. So the lights probably won't be on for a little bit, unfortunately. But we've got a big Salvini, which the two of them are funnily just the bigger rivals in the tank. And then we've got a whole bunch of the big clown loaches that we were reserving, and a Texas, a big ornate Polypterus. You can't see it because of the glare. We've got 2 iridescent sharks, 1 strawberry Leporinus, a mint green terror, a peacock bass. There he is, and me. And in here is also, if the peacock bass didn't eat him, which I don't think he did, is a red-tailed shark. So I took the detour, I forgot to show the catfish. So we've been working on that for months, waiting for all the right sized fish to come in, and types, and the peacock bass made it happen. He was the last piece of the puzzle. We were honestly waiting for an Oscar, and we were just about to give up, and peacock bass came in. They were raised on pellets. It was a dream come true, so ta-da! And in some ways, a lot of people would see this tank and be like, wow, you can mix those things together? No? Yes and no. So this is what I kind of mean about, and I've been calling it a Charlotte tank, is you have to know the types of fish that you're working with, and you have to also kind of know what their demeanor is on the table. So all of those fish were a little bit larger, and we had to figure out what their personality was like. They were also in quarantine together, so there was actually a few fish that were in quarantine with them that didn't pass the test or make it, just because of compatibility. And so, of course, we use our expertise to avoid that as much as possible. But when it comes to mixing very unique things together, it takes patience. It took us almost, not, like, I would say like 6 months, maybe, to piece that tank together again. So if you guys are really looking for something of that caliber, you have to be super patient with it. And I know, like, for example, Charlotte's tank, every time she kind of loses a fish, she gets a new fish, but it gives us a new opportunity to try something new. But even so, like, and Tim's tank and Andrew's tank, they all have relatively unique tanks where you kind of have to just piece it together, and you have to lean into the types of fish that you're working with, the size that you're working with, and also their personality that they're bringing to the table. Because, for example, that peacock bass wouldn't have stood a chance being a candidate for that tank if he wasn't raised on pellets, especially at that size, and being a male. So those are all, like, really bizarre rules. It's a lot easier when you do everything when they're juveniles, because so much more comes to the table. It's so much easier. It may not take as long to kind of put a tank together. And I have one family, you could say, but 2 tanks in 2 different households that I'm working on right now. They're both identical fish tanks, but they have 2 different fish styles in the tanks, and it's been fun working with those and putting them together. A very kind of different style than what Charlotte's tank is, for example, because that type of tank, Charlotte's tank, is a little bit more durable, you could say, a little bit hardier. I had to work with her water chemistry though, so that's kind of where that was a pinch point. Look at how cute they are. I just showed the big catfish. One more time. There is a red-tailed cat and a marble cat in here. Those are currently our big, I would call them big, catfish. If you call anything but that big, then you don't have a big enough tank. Oh, these boost came in so big. Very pleased. Oh, good question, Bianca. So, I'm going to go over there since we're right there. Right now, what we have, so you can actually put the tannins in the water without the actual tannins. So this is what puts in the beneficial attributes of it without seeing the discoloration. So Blackwater Clear brings all the benefits but none of the actual darkness to it. So if that's an option for you, that's there. We do also have large almond leaves. This is a 3-pack for $3.99. Then we have these tea bags, and these are actually quite potent, which I'm very pleased with. So if you want a lot of juice straight away without the extra clutter, this just goes in your filter, and it's like a little bag, like a tea bag, quite literally. And so it fits nicely in your filter, and I'm so glad they made that because it was a random idea I had forever ago. And then we also have these 3 things. So just the cones, a little box of goodies, so you get sticks, leaves, and cones. And then you get, this one is just cones. But one of the other really great options, I'm looking over here, is the sticks that we have in our bulk bins. The one particular variety I'm going to show you, so long as we covered it. Yes. So in this bin of $2.99 sticks, not the Chola, but the plain brown guys, these guys will last so much longer, and they're so dark, so you get lots of good tannins from these as well. So, and they don't take up a lot of space, they're really affordable. So the best bang for your buck are definitely those ones, the least amount of work. So yeah, oh, plants. We did get some new terrarium plants in. And if Annabelle's watching, I'm sorry if I put things in different spots. But we have these big fluffy guys here that came in. Really nice. Bulbitis. Lots of big Anubias. Lots of hair grass. And then we did get some more big Anubias sticks. I have to turn the lights on these tanks, I'm sorry. Still getting in the habit of that. Look at this guy. He's been here for a little bit, but he's got so many cute tiny leaves. But these guys are all new. These guys. These guys are really cool. The trailing marsh bamboo. I do have a bunch of mangroves. Lots of bagged up clearance plants. Tissues. And I know when Annabelle gets back, she's gonna dial everything in again, and it's gonna be fantastic. We got red root floater, hornwort, and we do of course have everything outside as well. So we're gonna go check out the plants outside, and if I get cut off, as you know, that'll be the end of the story. But in case I don't, then I think that'll still be the end of the video. Alright. Season it feels like. It's been really nice though, having some of the cool. I can keep my windows open. So nice. Yes, Joel, those ones did as well. Oh, if you ever see fish in some of the ponds that have plants in them, the fish are not for sale. They're just eating our bugs. So in here we have some fish that are just chilling so that they eat the bugs. So we don't have just a bunch of mosquitoes breeding all over the place. And then the fish that are in there get to go back inside, and then they're going to look super great by the end of the season. Look at these little twirly guys. Those guys are huge. They came actually from our pond up front. If you didn't know, we have a pond in our front yard. Land. Alright. Oh. Looks like those are some of the new ones that just got ready. Yeah, I don't think they're quite done yet, but some of the lilies getting worked on. Alright, that's it guys. See you around.